Ladies and gentlemen, today I ran 3.5 miles and it was a fantastic run. I was in great shape. I was flying like the wind, and guess what? It occurred to me. Being in shape is a fantastic ordeal. It's not easy to do because you have to do it every day. You have to work out every single day. Not everybody's doing that. Most people are very lazy. Most people say, I'll do it tomorrow. Most people won't work out. They just won't do it. Most people do not care to become better. They want to be lazy.
It's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Everybody says it's too hard to lose weight. It's not the easiest thing to do. Most people can't do it because they have an excuse. Why? Because it takes motivation, it takes hustle, it takes drive, it takes focus, and more importantly, it takes consistency, and most people do not have the ability to be consistent. Most people cannot work out every single day. Most people don't have the drive or the determination to even work out for 10 minutes a day. Most people work at their jobs, they're 9 to 5, and they come home, and what do they say?
I'm tired. My job just took it all out of me today, and I can't. I went to work.
Well, you worked for somebody else. You made somebody else rich today. Listen, at the end of the day, nobody likes to work out. Working out is hard. It's not easy. At the end of the day, working out's a very difficult task. It requires focus. It requires consistency more than anything, and most people do not have the ability to be consistent. Most people cannot be consistent. At the end of the day, the reason that I'm in shape is because I work out every single day, or at least I try to. I don't take days off, and if I do take days off, then, well, I eat good. I eat right. I'm disciplined, and discipline is one of those things that you have to have if you want to be in good shape. Maybe you want an 8-pack, maybe you want a 6-pack. Well, you need to take the steps in order to get that 6-pack. You need to work as hard as it takes in order to get that 6-pack. It's going to take time. It's going to take reps. It's going to take energy. It's going to take days when you don't want to work out and forcing yourself to do that because not everyone does it. And in order for you to be exceptional, in order for you to look exceptional, you have to do things that exceptional people do. You have to do things that normal people do not do. People want to be exceptional, but they're not trying and they're not taking the steps.
Put one foot in front of the other.
They're not doing what needs to be done in order to get there, and that's the truth. When I was in powerlifting, and the reason I was really good in powerlifting is because my friends and I, my little clique, this was the same friends I played football with. School would end, and we would sometimes be working out 5 hours later. That's how dedicated we were to getting better. That's how dedicated we were to doing well at states in powerlifting. We took it seriously. The reason I was able to bench 310 at my state championship meet in high school, the reason I was able to squat 485 at states and today still able to squat 485, and the reason I was able to deadlift 545 at states is because I practiced, because I took the time. I was there every single day. I didn't take days off. I worked hard every day. I put in the reps. I did what I didn't think I could do. I put weight on the bar that I didn't know if I could actually lift. But at the end of the day, I took risks, calculated risks. I was focused, and I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be a beast. I wanted to win. I wanted to be a champ. When I was lifting, I wanted to be the winner. I wanted to get the gold. And I have a buddy of mine, he was a better powerlifter than I was. He was he was first in state. He was state champion. And I remember he got the silver and he hated it. That's how dedicated my clique was to actually being top-notch powerlifters, top-notch athletes, top-notch individuals. That's how dedicated and committed we were. Mind you, the reason I brag about my powerlifting days, my old glory days, is because I was pretty good at powerlifting. I'm pretty strong. I'm pretty motivated. I know what it takes to get to that next level. I know what it takes in order to get that next match. I know what it takes to get that gold in a competition. And in order for you to get that gold, you need to be completely set and focused on the target at hand. Everything in you has to be willing to put in the work. When I was in high school football, we had a thing. It was called always at zero. What does that mean, always at zero? Every single snap, you're back at zero. So even if you're winning 74-0, even if you're winning 36-14 in a game, at the end of the day, no matter what, even to the last moment of the fourth quarter, we're going to stay focused on accomplishing the goal, and we're going to pretend like the scoreboard is at zero. We believed that every single day you were always back at zero. No matter how well you were doing in the game, no matter how well you were doing in the fourth quarter, at the end of the day, you were focusing on the task at hand, the snap at hand. You're focusing on the very next play, and it was the same thing in college. We had the same saying. It's universal in football. It's always zero. meaning you pretend the scoreboard's always at 0. You need to live your life like that. When you live your life like you're always at 0, then guess what? At the end of the day, you're going to be the winner. At the end of the day, no matter how much fame, wealth, power, or friends that you accrue, guess what? You have to still pretend like you're at 0 every single day, because you can lose it all in a second. One decision can ruin your entire life. One decision can change the aspect of your entire life. There's a movie called Shot Caller, and everybody should watch it. In that movie, our main character, the protagonist, is this regular guy. Goes out to dinner one night with his friends and his wife, and they have a couple glasses of wine. They're actually upper class people. They're leaving the restaurant, they're laughing, they're having a good time. Protagonist is driving, and bam, a semi hits them. And guess what happens next? He wakes up in the hospital, and he wakes up in jail. He finds himself going to prison. And then next thing he knows, in order to survive in prison, he has to do the next worst thing in order to gain protection from everybody around him. Well, spoiler alert. In the movie, he goes to prison, and when he goes to prison, he eventually stays there so long that it becomes institutionalized. He becomes a completely different person. He becomes the shot caller. He becomes the head honcho. He becomes the gangster. He becomes the main dude. He becomes the main guy. He becomes the guy who calls the shots. The reason I bring up that movie is because it's a reminder. Every single second of every single day, you are being tested, you are being watched. You can make a mistake at any moment. Here we had this guy who was a regular dude, made really good money, beautiful wife, had some kids, and guess what happened next? He ended up having one glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine, maybe even 3. A little bit of a buzz, apparently above 0.08, and guess what? Bam. He ends up in prison, and he spends his entire life there and just loses everything. That's how fast it can happen. That's how fast the rest of your life can just go right before your eyes. Everybody wants to be rich. At the end of the day, being wealthy takes wisdom, and it takes the ability to be disciplined. It takes the ability to realize that at any second of the day you can lose this money. You're fortunate enough to have this money. You're fortunate enough to have this thing, whatever this thing is. So you need to take care of it. You need to respect it and honor it. And you need to honor yourself and honor every single day that you're alive. And don't make the mistake of going backwards. One thing that I've always remembered since I hung up the cleats in football and baseball, listen, at any time I can lose my ability to be athletic. At any time I could tear my ACL. At any time I could break my ribs, break my arm, break my leg, whatever, and I could be done. My college football or baseball career could be over just like that. I could get in trouble. Something could happen in life, whatever it is. I need to stay focused, and if I'm going to be here at college, and if I'm going to get myself into debt, and if I'm going to take the hard way in life, take the steps that I need to take, get through college, get my degree, do what I gotta do, go to the police academy, become a police officer, accomplish my plans, and then move on to whatever it is else I want to do in life. And now here we are, making this podcast, teaching people about how to be successful, what it takes in order to get to that next level in life. Basic fundamentals, guys. Basic stuff that you can use in your everyday life in order to make you more effective as a human being. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. We're not teaching billionaire advice here. Well, I guess we kind of are, because billionaires are common sense people at the end of the day. They do things the unconventional way. They do things outside of the box. Billionaires tend to do things in a way that's a little bit more creative. However, they're not much different than you and I, and they just figured out a better way to do things. And a lot of the time, they're just a little bit more motivated and a little bit more industrious, and that's why you have to be that way. A healthy perspective on losing weight is realizing that at the end of the day, if you don't do this one thing, you're not going to look the way that you want to look. And it's very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. At the end of the day, if you want to be in good shape and if you want to be in healthy condition, you have to be driven and motivated on doing that. You have to be willing to go to the gym. You have to create workouts for yourself. Most people don't even create workouts. You know, I have a lot of friends of mine who go to the gym. They don't even create a workout for themselves. They just go, they walk on the treadmill. You know what I mean? It's like, just walking on the treadmill, well, create a workout for yourself, you know? Just so you don't know how to use something. YouTube, Google, before you go. Before you leave to go to the gym, figure out what you want to do. Create your workout. It's a fun experience. It's something to do. Keeps you busy, and it's healthy for you. It's an investment for your time. Investing in a good workout schedule is an investment in your future, because you're going to add years onto your life. The best money you can honestly spend, invest in yourself. Do what you have to do to be in good shape so you can walk into a room and be proud and confident, because confidence is important. I can't stress enough how important it is to have not motivation, but discipline when it comes to working out. This is a big problem with people. A real problem with why people don't stay in shape is because they always say and have the excuse of,
well, I just don't have the motivation. I just don't have the time. I just don't have any of that. I can't. Yeah, my job, you know.
The job, I get. I understand. It is hard to work at a 9-to-5 job and to actually come home and then do a 2-hour workout and then take care of your kids and pay the bills and do everything after. That does make sense. But if you want to get out of that life, then you have to do the things that you don't want to do in order to do that. If you want to get out of that life, then you have to make sacrifices. If you want to get out of that life of poverty and just wishing you had more, not being able to do what you want to do, then you have to take the steps in order to accomplish what you want. You want to get a six-pack? I'll tell you how to get a six-pack. Go on YouTube, type how to get a six-pack. What you're going to find is something called HIIT, high intensity interval training workouts. Start doing those HIIT workouts. HIIT workouts are the best way to get abs. You want to get six-pack? The quick answer, do HIIT workouts. I do a lot of HIIT workouts. Even though I love to power lift, even though mainly I like to do a lot of strength training, for the most part, I still do like to do a lot of cardiovascular stuff. HIIT training is cardiovascular training. It's aerobics training. It's calisthenics kind of training. And at the end of the day, that's what the Navy SEALs do. That's what we did in the academy. And I still do it to this day because they were great workouts that kept me in shape. I didn't need a weight room to do it. And they're easy workouts. If you are obese, you know you can do better. I know you can do better. The world knows you can do better. And that's just the truth. Even though you might not want to hear that, I'm here to tell you what you need to hear in order to get you to the next level, right? And in order to get you to that next level, we need to address the problem and address that there is a problem. And the problem is maybe you're obese, maybe you're not working out as much as you could be. Today's the day you start getting back on the train and you stay focused and you ask yourself why, and you really do some deep soul searching and ask yourself why you need to be in shape and why it is important and why you want to live an extra 10 years. You'll thank yourself when you're 65 years old. I promise you that. A big reason I was always in sports growing up is because, again, it kept me in good shape. And there is a really good feeling. If you don't want to get into drugs, if you don't want to get into jail and spend a lifetime in prison, then let me tell you, start working out. Get on the ground right now. Do 25 push-ups. Can't do 25 push-ups? Do 5 push-ups. You can't do 5, you do 1 push-up. Doing 1 push-up, and then another push-up, and then another push-up, and then another push-up, and then on and on and on. Guess what's going to happen psychologically? You will have accomplished something. You will have achieved something. You will have done something. And a lot of people haven't done that something. And you're going to realize that. You're going to think to yourself, wow, well, guess what? I wasn't lazy. My friends were probably lazy. Hey, it's Friday night at 11 p.m. and here I'm doing push-ups. You know, my friends are out there at the club tonight. Okay, well, my life changes now. I want to do this. And that's where it starts. And it's a good feeling. And it's pretty awesome to actually be able to enjoy the way you look when you look into the mirror. Because let me tell you something. I hate to say this to sound arrogant, but it does feel good to walk into a room and you know that you're in good shape. It feels good to know that you look good. And you need to feel that feeling as a human being, just like having a girlfriend. Just like being able to have a kid and sharing that experience and that feeling. It's the same thing as being in good shape. There can be no more excuses. There can be no more, well, because of this, I can't do that. Well, because of these circumstances, I can't do this, Brendan. No excuses.
No excuses.
You don't live that life anymore. You're working out every day. You don't live the life where you're scrolling through Instagram anymore. No. If you do want to actually change your life, if you do want to get in good shape, then let me tell you how you do it. Right now, as we're speaking, you're going to get on the ground, you're going to do 50 push-ups like we already talked about. You're going to do 10 workouts that you believe you need to do, and you're going to do them. It doesn't need to be a hard workout. It needs to be something. You're going to write it down. You're going to do that workout. You're going to do all 10 of them. Easy workout, nothing crazy, just going to achieve it. Get that in your head that you know how to do it. You're going to start doing that every single time. If you're a TV watcher, every single commercial you're getting on the ground, you're doing 5 push-ups. You're doing push-ups until the TV show comes back on. You don't stop doing push-ups. If you want to get any girl you want, or if you want to get any guy you want, if you're a girl watching this, then you have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort. You have to not focus on everybody else. Shut out the world. You need to make a decision and stay laser focused on what you're doing, on every single task you're doing. Your life changes today. You don't go on Instagram anymore. You don't go on social media anymore. The only reason you go on Instagram and social media is to figure out what people are saying in the comments section, is to figure out what people are saying about the world. That's it. Once you have an idea of what people are talking about in the world, once you have an idea about what's hip and trending, then get off of it. No more entertainment for you. You don't live that life anymore. You're 1%. You're rich. You're not poor anymore. You don't go on Instagram. You're not out of shape anymore. You don't waste your time. You're producing content. Now you're editing videos. Now you're doing what you can to figure out how to build a Shopify store. Now you're figuring out how to build an audience of people who respect you and want to buy your products. That's your life now. You don't do what poor people do. You don't watch TV. You watch commercials. You study ads. You study marketing. That's what you do. You don't listen to music when you're in your car anymore. You listen to podcasts. You're listening. Critical thinking. You're learning about business. You're learning about psychology because you want to be rich. You want to be wealthy. So because of that, you're going to do things differently. You want to be in good shape. You want a six-pack. So because of that, you're going to do things differently. You're going to work out every single day. You're not going to take days off. That's what people who are out of shape do. People who are not fit do not work out. People who are not fit don't care about how they look. They're happy with themselves. You're not happy with yourself. You're focused. You're driven. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, and you know that. And you figured out that a lot of people aren't realizing that, and they're wasting their time. Today's the day you have the epiphany. Today's the day you just took control of your life. Today, you figured out that you can actually have a six-pack. You can actually look really, really good if you want to. And you can get any girl you want. You can do anything you want. You can get whatever job you want. It's all about confidence. Everything's about confidence. If you want to be in good shape, then you need confidence. If you want to be terrific, and if you want to be magnetic, and if you want to be powerful and spiritual and just successful and fulfilled, like nothing can stop you, then the only thing you can possibly do, the only option is to keep going when everybody else has given up on you. Look at that poster up on the wall and tell me what it says. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Rocky Balboa. I love that quote. One of my favorite quotes of all time. I will die with that quote somewhere in my coffin. Hopefully somebody sees this, and hopefully somebody does it for me, because that's what I live by. Everything in your life is about failure and failing your way to success. Failure equals learning. As a police officer, something I learned is that human beings are fragile. Human beings are motivated by trying to be useful. Human beings do their best, but they don't do what they need to do in order to become who they need to be. A lot of people just do not take accountability. A lot of people do not take ownership of their lives. A lot of people are very depressed, and the reason they're depressed and in these states of sadness is because they're not staying focused on goals. They're not figuring out and asking themselves, how can they change the world and make the world a better place? Most people just aren't having those conversations in their mind. They're not having those conversations. They're not asking themselves why it's important to do things you don't want to do. When I was in the police academy, I had a really great instructor. He didn't like me too much at the start. My PT instructor always said, you guys are going to get through this course, and then half of you are going to get obese afterwards. You guys are all going to pass this course. You're going to pass the PT final exam in order to become police officers. And guess what? 50% of you are going to get fat and out of shape. And we all kind of just sat there. About half the room left, and half the room kind of just sat there and listened. The point is, my police academy instructor would always say it. You guys don't waste it. You guys are going to get in great shape in this academy. And not just that, you guys are going to run miles after miles after miles. Every single day, you're going to be running 3 miles. This is what he'd be telling us. Every single day, you're going to be doing push-ups. Every single day, you're going to be doing sit-ups. You're going to look better than you did at the start of this academy, is what he would say. And then you guys are going to lose it. Half of you. Don't be those people. Don't be the people who walk up to me in 5 years from now, and I don't even recognize them because they got so fat. That's what our instructor told us. And I remember that to this day because it just meant so much to me. Like, my God, I'd never want to be that person. Like, I refuse to be somebody who just lets themselves go. And if you are that person, that's okay. Today is the day that you become better. Today is the day that you start. That's okay. We're all fighting a battle. We are all fighting our own challenges. We're all up and down. If you let yourself go, and if you're one of those people, that's okay. Do what you got to do to get in good shape. Do what you got to do to take ownership and take accountability. Get off that couch, get on the ground, start doing sit-ups, start doing push-ups, start going for a walk around the block. You can do that, right? You can do that. Instead of eating one chocolate bar, you eat half a chocolate bar. You're going to start taking vitamins. You're not going to drink anymore. No more drugs, no more alcohol, none of that. You're not going to live the life that led you to this point. You're going to live a life that gets you to where you want to go. You're going to do things differently than you did them before. Instead of eating that bag of chips, or instead of eating that ice cream sandwich, instead of eating that pizza, chicken breast, chicken breast, chicken breast. Then you're going to eat some steak maybe if you can afford it. And then you're going to eat some salmon. And then once you eat some salmon, you're going to eat some grains. Then once you eat some grains, you're going to eat some veggies. You're going to get all of it. You want to have a healthy diet. So you're doing things differently than the rest of people do. We're starting at zero. I'm starting at zero right now. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. So choose to make it a great one. At the end of the day, we're all going to die anyways. There's no reason that you should not be accomplishing your dreams and doing things you want to be doing right now. Give your mom a life that she deserves. Give your dad a life that he deserves. Your friends a life that they deserve. Be the first millionaire in your family. The first one in your family with a college degree. Be the first one in your family who has a six-pack. Be the first one in your family who actually got married and kept a marriage and didn't divorce. Be the first one. We're going to make a t-shirt like that. First one, meaning be the first one in your family.
First or last, baby, you know it.
You have time to be doing some strategic workout planning. You have time to be planning things out and plotting for your success. This is for you. You need to be in shape. You need to be physically fit. You need to live a long life for your kids. You need to be around a long time. Doesn't matter if you like working out or not, you need to do it. I don't care what excuse you have. You need to find a way. We all have a reason, but guess what? Successful people, you don't make excuses like poor people do. You just do it. You do what needs to be done. You do what is required, and you go after it, and you get it. You're going to be in shape today. I'm counting on it. Make it happen. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode. Just want to ask you real quick to go ahead and buy my book, Beyond the Beat, A Guide to Success for My Police Officer and Entrepreneur, and my other book, How I Made My Dorm My Office, Experiences of a Student Athlete and Entrepreneur. Both books about entrepreneurship, but really some tips and tricks about how to become more effective as a human being, and also some experiences of mine that I have learned along the way. So you can learn from my successes and failures, and also you can learn to provide value to other people like I learned to do so as well. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, and with that being said, stay prudent, stay powerful, and stay wealthy. We'll see you next time.
She's mad.